Greetings, everyone out there in TV land. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but let's try a flip of a different sort. Clearly, that says baseball card album. Had that since I was but a wee lad, and the baseball cards are no longer in there, and instead it is what is becoming the curated Fred Hembeck sketch card collection. Been buying sketch cards from Fred since 2010. He posts 5 of them daily to his eBay store, most days all year long. I would get them originally and then hand them out as gifts. They make fantastic gifts for anyone who's looking for stocking stuffers or a little something to tuck in a card. And then about 2020, as part of my pandemic process, I started to focus in on what I wanted to curate and keep in the permanent collection. So what better way to start off the album than with Fred, surrounded by some fanciful characters, including Furbush Man and his girlfriend Calendar Girl, Hot Stuff and Wendy the Good Witch, always kind of partial to the Hawaiian Punch mascot Punchy, and of course, Frisch's big boy in the greater Cincinnati area makes me think of going back to visit my grandparents when I was a kid. For those who know me, I am a Star Wars fan. So what would Fred collection be without a Star Wars assortment? I'm starting to move towards some themed pages. I've got some placeholders here now that I've got the nice group card in the middle for Chewbacca and Luke Skywalker to finish out that page. To kind of show how long this has taken to start to assemble, these 3 cards, if I recall correctly, I got in 2011. The center card was 2013. Yoda was a couple years ago, and the Stormtrooper and Darth Vader were within the last year. When I first started getting them, they were black and white. So here we have Princess Leia and Han Solo. Those are the 2 oldest cards remaining in the permanent collection, both from 2010. Again, some placeholders at the top. Waiting a couple more Star Wars characters at some point down the road. I know I've got a Chewie here, but that's a Chewie with Han, so he doesn't quite fit what I'm going for on the other page. Early X-Men. Clearly in need of a Professor X up there at the top. And then another early villain, Super Adaptoid and Porcupine, were some of my personal favorites when I started back collecting X-Men issues back in the day. That might just be a good spot for a Magneto or a Vanisher. We'll have to see. Some later X-Men, including Phoenix, Storm, Kitty Pryde, and the early New Mutants costume. Corsair, might as well toss in Arcade for a villain, and a nice Wolverine. Some Marvel superheroes. Couple different outfits for Black Widow. Nice Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange at the top. This may need a beefier Hulk. Maybe to sort of match this one. We'll have to see if that one gets upgraded and traded out at some point. Again, more Marvel characters, including some obscure ones like Cloud down there at the bottom. Rom, always a personal favorite. And for a while, there was a slightly different style Fred was doing. Quicksilver is the only one I have left in that particular style. He was doing those off and on for the last few years. And then here's the start of the next Marvel page with a couple villains and a couple of sometimes villains. And maybe a new Daredevil. I'm just starting to read some of the newer Daredevil and Elektra books with my Marvel Unlimited app. And here's a DC page of characters. Static was directly a result of watching the Dennis Cowan shows on Comic Art Live recently, and then picking up some of the Cowan penciled Mace Windu issues in the last year or so. That central spot is just definitely waiting for a Batman or a Superman. Page of DC women, including a couple of different Batgirls, and Carmine Infantino a la Fred, or actually it'd be Fred a la Carmine Infantino, canary there. And then some non-Marvel, non-DC characters from First Comics, Joe Linsner, Dawn, Rainbow from DNA Agents, just keeping it fun. This, of course, is the page of real people, including Abe Lincoln and Tor Johnson, and of course, Uncle Sam and Godzilla. Who doesn't love Herbie, the Fat Fury, or Bouncing Boy, or Fat Man, the Flying Saucer? Most of these started as independents. Some of them moved into DC. Got a couple slots here left to fill in a few other characters. The war comic themed characters with Sergeant Rock and Jeb Stewart from the Haunted Tank, Mademoiselle Marie, Beetle Bailey, and then the first of the Santa Duo cards there with one of the Howling Commandos. And ripe for the season, here's a group of mostly DC, maybe all DC now that I look at it. Heroes and assorted characters with Santa. Fred always puts out a group of these right at the beginning of the holiday season for those who want to do a little gift giving. Santa Solo, along with the Shadow, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Grinch, and Santa with a bunch of Marvel characters. Fred does these. He tends to do a little bit of a pencil rough and then inks it, I think mostly with Prisma pens, and then he colors them with markers. If anyone wants to know about the longevity, the Santa and Volstagg is 2011, and Santa and Hercules there is 2021, and the color's holding up just fine on all of those. And there's a page of Fred and Santa with some of Santa's little helpers and one of last year's 2022 New Year's ladies. And that is the permanent Fred collection. And in this binder, I have the Dueling Dealers set, along with the Sharon Snyder sketch card of Princess Leia that I got with my Kickstarter order. So that is a peek at the Jeff Wedding Fred Hembeck sketch card collection that has yet to be scanned and put into my CAF Gallery. But someday, as I get some of the themed pages finished, you'll see them there. Happy holidays, everyone. Have a good one. Bye.